All right, everybody, this will be a warning to all politicians. I'm running for president 2024, 123 D, I believe. A quick one here for I take off once they tell me where I'm dragging this load to. So going over perceptions and everything and truth and how people align themselves with ideologies and causes and things like this. Manipulation, as far as, people in power, government, what have you, advertising, etc., propagandists. It's a studied thing, and it goes back centuries. So they've been at it for a long time. And even though some people who are involved in it these days may not know that they're taking part in such a type of thing, because they themselves might never have stepped back and said, what is the truth? Am I being told the truth? Some people don't do that because they don't like to get out of their comfort zone. This is good enough for me, or whatever. It's what people have believed. It says in the Bible and in the Quran. This is what we found our fathers doing and believing. Why should we change anything? This is what we've been taught. This is the way it is. They never said there would be any changes to it. But even though there was evidence that there would be changes to things. So you have, it don't matter if it's the hood or if it's the trailer park, you got your preacher, your pundit of there and everything, and put it down to like an extreme local level, right? Somebody's going to tell you like it is and how it is, and everybody listens to that person or has that kind of mindset to some degree. And then you have, maybe that's a little local, but then you have people kind of a little bit above that who instill into those people those mindsets, whether it's Van Jones or Al Sharpton or whoever, as far as in the hood, and then on the left, on the right, or not even the right. It can still be left. It can be Antifa people or whatever, in the trailer park or whatever, or in the city. A lot of people go on spewing a lot of stuff that they're taught and everything like that from people who really don't have much education and who've never, there's a thing called, you got education, but then you got life experience. And as far as education goes, and as far as these people who are activists and everything like this, I look at, in some cases I look at, man, they've created themselves some zombies, because, but you ever see them commercials? You get them vacuums that run around people's houses in a room, and do everything on their own, been programmed just to, that's what they do. I look at this, and you can call it the Matrix, whatever, different levels of Matrix if you want. You're not plugged in with a physical cable, but they don't need a physical cable no more. Everything's wireless, man. It's all Wi-Fi. It's wireless. They don't need a cable. Are you kidding? They don't even need to send out that subliminal shit no more. All they got to, they got their spiel. And they're going to sell you on it. And you get locked in on it, and then you're just going to be like one of them little robots going around that does the vacuuming. You're just going to be their little robot going around repeating the spiel. And so Um, they don't need the cable in the back of your head, man. It's all wireless now, and whether it's the education system or media or what have you, they just it's plug and play, man. Just put it out there and away you go. So like it all comes down to people individually have to ask themselves, what is the truth? Who is telling the truth? And that started me on quite a journey in my own life as far as religion goes. And that goes back to what Jesus, peace be upon him, said, seek and you shall find. But anyway, then you have those people, whether they're educated or semi-educated, and an example I can give you, I'm assuming you all have. If you haven't, you need to check it out. There's a group called the Black Israelites, where they'll be out on the corner doing their spiel out there, and it's you wonder, how they get followers. They have a lot of people who never experienced anything other than those types of people around them. If called a herd mentality or what have you, never experienced anything, never said, or they gravitated to it because they saw a way for them to gain power over people and teach them that mindset. There's all kinds of things like that. Not just them, but you can look at the Klan and stuff like that. People follow people within their local communities and stuff that have these racist ideologies, and it's like, that's their localized deal and everything. So, of course, later on, that everyone's exposed to different things at a different point. But there's once you get locked into something, and you're told that's the way it is, it can have long-term detrimental effects to your growth as a human being. So, but then you have, so say you got, the local, whether it's the hood or the trailer park or whatever, memorized, and you get some activists that spewing all their stuff, or, it's a group. It's like these groups like Antifa. It's like there's so many of them that are uneducated within these groups that they don't know they're shooting themselves in their own foot, because Antifa should be against illegal immigration. Because it enriches Wall Street and corporate greed and, the rich people that they hate, and keeps wages down, which, they're all, hey, we won $15 an hour. And well, if you're going to keep providing a cheap labor pool and, bringing more people in, you're fighting against yourself. You want all the, you want more money for the worker and not for the people. Well, here you go. You're fighting for illegal immigration and everything else and bringing more people into the country. You're shooting yourself in your own foot. But they don't realize that, because the people who are above them, who are less educated people and stuff, are listening to maybe people who are a little more educated, politicians and this and that, who are telling them, tying all this stuff that you got to be on this side because of this or that. And then it goes to even people who say they're educated. Maybe they got some community college, maybe they got a year of state university or whatever, and some kind of, these new types of courses they have, these social justice warrior courses. And so that's what they know. So then they're the educated person, they're still in the community, they're going to tell, all their underlings, shouldn't say, maybe that's the wrong word, but people within the community, hey, this is the way it is, and whatever. And if anybody, even if they're uneducated or whatever, says, "Nah, I don't see it that way," then this person is going to say, "Well, I'm the one with the degree. I'm the educated one, this and that." But even that person, if they have no life experience, if they're preaching anti-societal stuff, that they themselves went and learned from a professor in a university or state college or something, or even community college, what have you, and they have no life experience, they've never experienced anything from the other side. And some of these people grown to make careers out of this whole thing, and once they're in it, lockstep, it's not like they can just go, you know what, I was wrong about all that crap. They've been making a living, and some of them a very healthy living off it. So it's not like they can turn around and say, "You know what, I've been wrong about all that shit, and I'm sorry about that." And but really, you should, like if they've been preaching socialism or some crap, and or that America's racist and all this, and white people are white privilege, and then if they was to learn different, can you imagine them going, sorry about that, I was really wrong, what have you. It's the same with Klan people or whatever. There's a lot of them who find their views have been wrong and stuff, but they don't, they're not gonna come out publicly state it, a lot of them that so it's the same thing on both sides. So but what I'm trying to make is, some of these people, before they get so locked in to an ideology or a belief or something, ask themselves that question. Well, wait a minute. What is the truth? Why am I sitting here in this class listening to this professor spew all this stuff that I have some questions about, and I'm taking it like the gospel? What is the truth? Maybe I should go study the other side or look at some things. Maybe I should go hang around with a entrepreneur that has some mentor program and see what it's like to run a business, see what it's like to run a corporation or something. Because even out here in trucking, you have people who are semi-educated, even been in the business for a while, semi-educated as far as how some things work, and then who might be willing to learn more about the business and everything. And you got these people. Excuse me. It's the same. No, I don't have COVID. I got a dry throat. And the bunk heater going here, it gets very dry. So, and I've been flapping my gums a lot here. So, like the guy who owns the company I'm leased to, and the people at the top he's got around him. Now, they have got to be on top of their game, find innovative ways to save money, and ways to convince customers to use this company. To save money, and innovative ways to generate money, as far as big part of this company is leasing a truck from them, as well as it is for many other companies. Now, whoever, the deals that I can tell you that they've got a good program here. I can't speak for all of them. In a way, it was done as all these companies, most of them anyway, a lot of them did it as They had big fancy trucks as eye candy. They'd let you run. All this they were making, trying to make money hand over fist, and it was a way to attract drivers to keep your seats filled because, you can't grow your company and service customers if you don't have enough drivers. So it was a way for them to do that, and in some ways, with the sale and the resale or what you charge for the truck and this and that, maybe they made a few more bucks here or there and stuff. And it's like I told one guy was in the company store one time bitching that a pair of Wranglers cost $5 more in the company store than they did at Walmart, and how they were ripping us off and blah 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 and all this. And it's like, hey man, he'll give you a free shuttle ride to the Walmart, all right? Anywhere in town you want to go, the shuttle pretty much will take you. But he's got to pay to stock this stuff. He's got to pay the girls to work in here. He's got to keep the lights on, all this stuff. And what they don't realize, and a lot of these groups like Antifa and stuff does, and some of the hey, I'll tell you, I think a lot of the big salaries for a lot of these big corporations, the CEOs and the bonuses they get are way overbloated. But there is a point where you say, some of these people are worth their money, because if they're not on top of their game, you'll all end up out of work. The guy who owns the company I contract to, and all the people he has at the top have a big responsibility. Trucking is a very competitive industry, and it doesn't take a whole lot for companies to get into trouble, making the wrong moves, making the even if it's has to do with them investing the little bit of profit they make or whatever. What they do with that and everything, they can end up in not even counting accidents and all that kind of stuff. So they have to be on top of their game. And right now, I'm going to say off the cuff, I'm going to say the company I'm with has 10,000 people working for it. It's probably more. That's a big responsibility. If they don't do things right, if they don't find ways, we got to make a little money here, we got to make a little money there. Wouldn't take much for them to get into financial trouble and say, we're gonna have to close the doors. There's a lot of companies, they don't do things wisely, and then they're having to borrow more money, and then the next thing you know, hey, look, you look in the headlines, Guitar Center right now. They made some financial mistakes and restructured wrong and stuff and everything, and then they tried to restructure. Now they're having to do it again. Partially, I think, because of COVID and all that. Even though guitar sales and I think some other musical instruments have been high during this time. People looking for things to do, hobbies and stuff. So once it's over, I think the used musical instrument business is gonna really boom, because people get into things and then find out, well, that takes more time than I want to devote to it. So the guitar will get put in a closet somewhere or something, or they'll sell it. So watch them garage sales coming up probably by next summer. But anyhow, so the thing is, you got people's perceptions and their education levels and the refusal to look at things from another angle and stuff. This can all be a mindset that's instilled with them early in their lives, and that's hey, this is just the way it is, and etc. And they never stop and they ask, well, what's really going on here? What is the truth? Who is telling the truth? Am I being lied to? So like in trucking, and stuff, everything, You get people that reach a certain level that know-it-alls and stuff, especially within the owner-operator ranks. And I can tell you the first time I had my own truck and everything and was with a company is just when those Qualcomm systems were first coming out, and a lot of things back then. It's around 2000. Well, the Qualcomms had been out longer than that, but a lot of companies started requiring them because customers started wanting them to have better communications with and to know where their loads are and this and that. And then it really helped brokers and all kinds of people and agents be able to plan things better and this and that. But most of the industry, driving wise anyhow, viewed it as, man, it's just a way for them to keep tabs on you. That's all it is. And so I didn't put one in my truck, which hindered me at the time. Well, not right at the time, but then it was like a year or so down the road. After 9/11 and freight was drying up and everything like this, and that's when it hindered me. It's because more and more people were wanting it then. I mean, I still could have had it put in, and probably should have, but at the time, I just wasn't making the connection that this was, even though people had told me, within the company, hey, you're going to find more available freight and this and that, and the customers are wanting this and stuff. I ain't, done enough. I spent enough money, and kind of fell into that mindset with a bunch of other dummies like me or owner operators who just didn't want to move forward with the technology. So anyone can fall in this kind of stick in the mud, I'm not budging type mindset and stuff. And in a lot of ways, whether it's in life or in business, that can really hurt you. So anyway, so then you got like the local, like I said, the trailer park of the hood, and then you got somebody who might have some activist or some community college, junior college type education and these things and these social issues. They think they have the answers and this and that, but they've never gone and taken a business course. They've never gone and seen what it was like to open a business. They probably never even had an actual job, and went and learned a trade or anything like that. And then you have people over them, maybe up in the universities or people that get on national TV and stuff, reinforcing all the things, So you got these tiers of these robots going around like they sweep the carpets, running in circles, and pretty much locked into this idea about life and their communities and stuff, who've never gone outside of that community, never looked at things from another side, never experienced, and don't have any life experience of doing anything else. And they're trying to dictate on how people live and dictate on how other people should react or act to supposedly change things and stuff. And if you look at this, has been going on for decades, and nothing's changed within a lot of those communities. Somewhere along the line, if you're in those communities, you got to say, hey, and a lot of people are. If you look at Conservative Twins or Anthony Brian Logan, some others on YouTube and stuff, what's her name, Candace Owens, a lot of other people, as far as the African American community, are saying, hey, wait a minute. You've been telling us this crap for, 50 years. Nothing's gotten better in my community. You've been saying you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and nothing's gotten better. And like I say, in a lot of cases, the politicians of those areas, the way they draw up those districts, the way they keep business from coming out, the way they keep, preaching, we're going to give you this and give you that and everything. and why they don't improve the areas and stuff, and a lot of them siphon a lot of money off for themselves, is because you're a captive audience. You start making money, you start getting educated or whatever, you know, you're not going to need them anymore. You might vote for the white Republican guy coming in because you're going to have more understanding, you know. And it's a shame in this country. I don't know if, you know, I've said before, I don't even know if they get kids to read the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, all that stuff in school anymore, or things like Thomas Paine, you know, common sense and stuff. You have to have an understanding of what this country was founded on. You have to have an understanding, you know, what the pillars of this country are, you know, so that you understand how, you know, how the engine is running. So you can partake, and this as far as, you know, I'm talking about, you know, capitalism and your rights and how the media is supposed to work and voting and all these types of things and debate and discourse, you know, freedom of the press. They're trying to shut that down now, corporatize it all and everything. Then on the other hand, you have people who come in who are have no responsibilities and, you know, maybe no journalism, no nothing. You know, you have all this stuff sprouting up on social media and stuff, and it's for both sides who, you know, are just in it for they want to get followers and subscribers and get money and stuff and make their money. So they'll pander to either side. I don't think it matters. I mean, they'll talk all day long. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, that InfoWars, Alex Jones and that, you know, started out talking about some stuff that was kind of like, oh, okay, made a couple movies, you know, about the Bilderbergers and, hey, what the hell's going on here and stuff. But, you know, there's only so much that goes around before you run it into the ground. You're rehashing shit all the time. And I think that's kind of the deal with, you know, when Obama was president, you know, the right-wing media, Hannity, all these people, you know, made all their money all the time opposing Obama. And a lot of it was justified, I'll grant that. You know, I can't even listen to like that stuff too long. I mean, you can tell on the CB somebody's listening to 3 hours of Hannity, or somebody's listening to 3 hours of, you know, somebody on the left or something on the radio, and then they're on the CB and they're spewing it, whether you want to hear it or not. And so, but then Trump's in and is, you know, exalt Trump and defend Trump and everything. Well, now, you know, they're counting their cards and or their chips, and they're like, okay, you know, what's the next thing? So now they're going to tool up to, I guess, oppose Biden or whatever. You know, it's all self-promotion, and, you know, they're looking, how are we going to make our money these next 4 years? How, you know, and same thing on the left. You know, Obama was in, the left, you know, all the time touting his greatness and blah, 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 and all this. Trump gets in office and, you know, demonize Trump 24/7. So, somewhere, no matter what side you're on, you got to break out of those cycles and say, wait a minute, what's this all mean? Over and over, it's like a broken record, over and over again. Politics, I'm cutting out, I'm dropping out. And a lot of people do in society. I mean, that was a whole big thing in the 60s. The only thing is they listened to, what's his name, Leary, and, hey, take your acid and drop out. It's the wrong way to go. There are basic principles which, no matter what religion, if you're just a good person, you do unto others you're an honest person, believe in capitalism and market and stuff, and making a little money here through work, etc., taking care of yourself, you're an able-bodied person, but not ripping people off. You know, suppose you've got a guitar, just a standard guitar that you bought for, $2,000 or something like that, and then the next day somebody comes along, oh man, I really like that, I'll give you $5,000, or I'll give you $10,000 for that. Are you the type of person, would you tell them, hey, look, you can go get another one just like it for $2,000? Or would you let them be stupid? Some people, hey, I'd be taking that money. Well, me myself, I would tell them, look, this isn't worth $10,000. You understand that? I mean, if they were still hell bent on buying it after I told them and everything, I can't say I wouldn't, depending on my financial situation, take the money, but I would make them aware. Hey, that's too much for this. A lot of people just say, no, it's strictly buyer beware in the market and all this and everything. If somebody's dumb enough to, pay that when they could have went down the street and paid $2,000, that's their fault. They didn't do their research or whatever. I understand that too, but I'm just saying, if you're a good human being, capitalism, there's nothing wrong with it. You give somebody either a service, you provide a service for a fair price, or you provide a product for a fair price. You have people working for you, you're taking care of them, what's fair and stuff. It's when people overturn that, and it makes it harder for you to be fair by, they're gonna use illegals to, and cheap labor to make their goods, or they're going to go across the border and make their goods, and here you are, you're trying to do everything right, treat people right, and now you're left with a decision, go out of business or do like the other guy's doing. So anyhow, I just want to throw that kind of stuff out there about perception, and you gotta break out of it and ask yourself who's telling the truth, and go on that search yourself. And it doesn't matter if it's religion or ideologies, what's going on around you in your local community and national scene, whatever, and step back from things and try and have better perceptions of stuff going on around you from all sides, and that way you can have a good debate and good discourse. All right, wish you all the best out there. God bless. Have a good Thanksgiving. We'll see you on the next one. Adios.